Thank you very much, and welcome to this webcast. My name is Evelyn Heyes, and I'm a principal consultant at Thorogood Associates, and I have 30 years' experience of working in the analytics and business intelligence area. Today's agenda is very simple. I'll give a brief introduction to Thorogood and talk a little bit about our experience in business intelligence and analytics and who we work with. And then I'll get straight into talking you through a customer case study from a recent project. This engagement started off helping them sort out their product master data management, but ultimately led to a solution that has enabled them to inform their high-level business decisions with a robust data repository with a golden source of product information and combining internal and external data. And finally, I'll touch briefly on how you can get started on a similar journey. For those of you who aren't familiar with Thorogood, we're an independent global professional services firm specialising in business intelligence and analytics. We have offices in the UK, where I'm based, and in the US, India, Singapore and Brazil. Our customers are predominantly from the consumer goods, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, and financial services sectors, and I personally particularly enjoy working with consumer goods companies, helping them to leverage the investment they make in external data. We help our customers leverage the latest technologies to make timely, data-driven business decisions. Our multi-skilled teams understand the critical interplay of data engineering, data science, and data visualization. And we work across these areas to create business-focused, end-to-end technology solutions robust enough to meet enterprise needs. Our services span strategy, implementation, user empowerment and support. In terms of the technologies we work with, we're an independent company and we work closely with a wide range of the industry's best technology vendors to ensure we can provide our clients with business analytics solutions that best suit their business needs. And so, without further ado, let's get straight into talking through this customer case study around master data management in the cloud. The customer in question is a global consumer goods company with a product set that faces intense marketplace competition. It operates in approximately 100 markets, each with consumers exhibiting very different behaviours. Some markets are saturated, so the focus is on market share, whereas others there is still overall growth. There is intense innovation taking place from this company and its competitors. And again, different markets are switching to the innovative products at a different pace. To add to this, there are particular market guidelines and restrictions focusing on sustainability, ingredients and packaging. This scenario is probably typical of many global consumer goods companies. And so there's heavy reliance on external data sources to monitor the behaviour of consumers and competitors. This company buys market data from providers such as Nielsen, IRI and Ipsos, to understand local trends, but there was a struggle to be able to join up all of the different data sources and then combine with external data, internal data, to really get a global view. And this global view is very important to be able to project demand, plan supply and optimise price points, and ultimately to report back to investors. They have a number of global reporting applications in place, but these rely heavily on manual collation of local data, so are time intensive and prone to error. We've been working with this particular customer for a number of years, but this engagement really started when they identified an ongoing problem with populating their product management system. This system required the population of approximately 100 attributes for their products, and those attributes came from a combination of their internal ERP system and external sources such as Nielsen. And then, in order to have a full set of data, it also required the introduction of competitors' products, with approximately 75 attributes per product for that data set. Once that product data set is fully populated, it can then be used as a basis for reporting on sales and distribution figures across the market. But their key challenge was how to actually get that master product data management system populated. So how do we go about addressing this challenge? Well, we started off focusing on the product master data. For this, we spun up an Azure environment, and within a Databricks notebook, we used an algorithm on a sample number of products to identify common attributes and fill in missing ones. This algorithm used Levenstein distance techniques to identify key components of product descriptions in order to match with existing products and attributes. After a period of tuning, we were able to successfully map approximately 85% of the total 130,000 products with a confidence level of greater than 80%. Of the remaining 15% that were either unmatched or had a lower confidence level, a number of those were obsolete products and therefore had no association within the product management system, and the very few remaining were manually mapped. This exercise proved very successful and vastly reduced the amount of time that would have been required if it had been done manually. Following the success of that exercise, we were then in a position where we had a comprehensive store of product master data in Azure. The original idea was to transfer that back to the internal product management system. From there, it could be used as a basis for combining internal and external data in order to be able to get a global view of sales. However, we suggested that because the foundation had already been created, we use that as a starting point for then building a comprehensive external data mart, bringing in the local market data from Nielsen and Ipsos and structuring it in a way that would enable reporting and analysis at a global and local level. So the ultimate outcome from this exercise was a comprehensive application which contains a global master product data catalogue for all of the customer's products and all competitors' products. It also delivers a single trusted data source for all external market data. And this point is really important, as during the build exercise, we uncovered the fact that 2 of the markets had previously been reporting incorrect volumes and therefore incorrect market share figures because of the manual mapping that was taking place. The data is consolidated and structured to meet all internal and external data reporting needs from a global perspective. It also contains market-specific views for each market, including the backfilling of missing data sets to ensure completeness across markets. And it has delivered a source to automate the production of existing reports and the possibility of enhancing future reporting. How did we do it? Well, our approach is very business focused. We've been specialising in business intelligence and analytics for many years, and therefore know that the most successful applications are ones that focus on the business goals and then use technology as enabler to unlock the opportunities. And this is exactly the approach that we took with this customer. Rather than treating it as an IT exercise, we made sure that we understood what the business was trying to achieve. And in order to do that, we brought our experience of similar projects as a starting point and took time to understand the business interaction required and the data being provided in order to design and build a flexible data model that could be used as a foundation for the global and local reporting for both internal and external purposes. Understanding what the business was trying to achieve wasn't just focused on one specific use case or reporting need. In fact, this customer in the past had started a similar journey by concentrating on one specific reporting requirement, but that initiative had not been very successful. So we brought our experience of what an overall vision could look like to ensure that the conversations we had were wide enough in scope. Our analytic delivery model focuses on business priorities and providing frequent and incremental value through continuous delivery. As I've already described, combining business focus and technical expertise means that the art of the possible can be framed. And in terms of delivery, we take the best from the agile methodology, such as iteration and delivering early value, while negating those components that can have undesirable cost impacts, such as fully allocated team members and a single physical location. It works well and is proven over many years. And finally, we leverage DevOps tool capabilities, such as continuous integration and delivery, and automated testing as much as possible. And a really important point here is that our overall design is very much focused on responsible consumption. In this customer scenario, the data volumes are such that it's vital that consumption implications are built into the design to not add unreasonable overhead consumption costs to the final product. This slide depicts a very high-level view of the project in terms of timelines, man-days, and our agile approach. For this project, we started at the end of March with Sprint Zero, focusing on establishing the customer needs, which were particularly important as the initial requirements were quite fluid at the start of the project, and developing an approach to delivering value fast whilst ensuring the system design was based on best practice. The project had ambitious timelines because we were really trying to prove the benefit of the investment in the product master data management. So for speed of delivery, Thorogood hosted the system as we were able to spin an Azure environment up very quickly and without the need to involve IT at their end. Once the project was in flight, we utilised our leverage model using a small team of consultants from the UK and India to provide fast and cost-effective agile development. This team brought extensive experience of working with the customer in question and working with external data in general. As you can see from the slide, the bulk of the development work was during a 4-month period from April to July. We worked very closely with the business contacts, particularly at the start, including regular catch-ups, to ensure that any business or data-related queries were resolved very quickly. And as you can tell by the timelines, this project started just as Europe and India went into lockdown due to the pandemic. So we very quickly and effectively switched to total remote working for the entire project team. The pandemic just heightened the need for speed of delivery in order for the customer to understand the changing consumer habits, such as whether people were buying in bulk or switching to cheaper products or not buying at all based on different market lockdown restrictions. The overall architecture looks like this. As I said, the environment is hosted on a Thorogood cloud, which enabled rapid development and meant we were fully in control of access for the development team. The numerous data sources are placed into a landing zone by the customer, and we are using Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Lake Store, and Azure Databricks to ingest, store, and curate the data. We've created a semantic model which structures the data in order to facilitate a multitude of reporting and analysis requirements whilst maintaining simplicity. We very much subscribe to the approach advocated by Einstein: everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. We have a series of validation reports to ensure the integrity of the data being ingested and are providing for ad hoc analysis through the use of Microsoft Power BI and pivot tables. So what were the key challenges we faced in delivering this system apart from the very aggressive timelines? As I've mentioned previously, we have as a company vast experience of working with external data from providers such as Nielsen and Ipsos. And so we are fully aware of issues and approaches to take. I'm showing here some of the fundamental things to look out for, and each of these challenges was encountered during this project. The focus on ensuring it was a business-led initiative and the regular catch-up at the start of the project meant that we were very quickly able to agree on suitable approaches for these issues, such as how to handle missing data and the approach to take to the restatement of history. Obviously, the issue of mapping to corporate dimensions had already been addressed by the initial product master data mapping exercise. Other specific challenges we faced with the data sets were ensuring that the visualization of hierarchies was simplified by building logical hierarchies across market, product and time, making sure that distribution information, very key across the local markets, aligned with all of the hierarchies, as obviously distribution is non-additive, capturing pricing information and price segments in a way that made sense across all views, and consolidating different units of measure into a single one in a way that was understandable and provided useful views on the data. And finally, from an approach point of view, all parties recognised at the start that the end product would be a massive system in terms of scope and markets, so the plan took into account that it would need time to stabilise. So we planned the rollout with a technical go-live first, followed by a business go-live. So what started as a product master data management exercise has resulted in an external data solution that has been delivered with minimal disruption to the business and at a reasonable cost. The solution enables the customer to inform its high-level business decisions quickly and automatically at both the global and local level. Since the initial go live in August, we've been providing DevOps support to continually enhance the data and attributes contained within the database and to provide relevant extracts for downstream systems. We've also been working with various business functions to enable them to leverage the investment that has been made to automate and enhance existing reporting, which was previously done manually. And probably most excitingly, we're now talking to the customer about using this data source for data science purposes. And some key areas we're looking at are things like price elasticity analyses, to determine the impact of incremental price changes on demand, or conducting steel analysis to determine the underlying drivers of shifts in market share. We're also considering the introduction of economic data to include recessionary factors such as unemployment and the consumer price index to better understand the extent to which these economic factors are causing consumers to trade down or change their buying behaviour. And really there's many other analytics opportunities that can now be realised now that the customer has this golden source. So really, just to summarise, I'd like to share some key takeaways from this case study. To deliver a powerful data set of combined internal and external data, along with a golden source of product master data, can seem very daunting. Daunting from a number of aspects. Can it actually be achieved in the first place? Will it take a very long time? Will it cost a fortune? My advice would be to not hesitate or put it off. Just do it. Ensure that it is led by the business, as they are the ultimate users of the data and they understand the data. And use specialists who understand the challenges and nuances of working with external data. Do it quickly, but do it well, obviously. And do it in the cloud to eliminate any potential delays with infrastructure and to be able to expand the scope easily as more people come on board. And finally, focus on the business goals, but really make sure you concentrate on the data validation, storage and structure to support those goals. And so with that, all that is left for me to do is to thank you for your time today. I hope you found this session useful. And if you'd like to discuss any aspect of it with me, please feel free to contact me at the email address shown here. Thank you.